Hey there. Wow, I have just been overtaken in my spirit by just how powerful God is as our defender, and impressed once again by his name being jealous. And that's not the kind of jealousy that we know as humans that we experience. Ours is sinful. It separates us from God, from others. It hurts relationship. It's possessive and controlling and fearful. But God is a jealous God, and God's name, one of his names, is jealous. And his jealousy for us is pure. It's radiant. It's redemptive. It's loving. And it is filled with a fierce determination to save us from ourselves and save us from sin and spare us from the destruction that the wrong path brings us to. And what may that path be? I'm telling you, that path that leads to destruction is a dead end. It's a brick wall. It's a slam in the face. Whatever we run to that isn't the Lord himself. Whatever we run to, fill in the blank. It can be the real obvious things like an addiction, running to alcohol, running to drugs, running to prescription medications, running to, we're so quick to run to anything but God. Running to people, running to attention from people and validation from people, running to food, sugar, chocolate. God is jealous. Those things don't love us. Those things don't save us. Those things don't help us. They only hurt us. Might taste good in the evening, but in the morning, it's one more step towards diabetes. The drink at night maybe feels good in the moment, but the next morning, wherever you go, there you are. The problem still exists, and now there's a headache to go along with it. The list goes on. God wants us to run to him, and that is the moment right here and now that I believe God wants us to rest in. That he is wooing you. He is calling you. He is summoning you. He's beseeching you to come and sit with him. Run into the prayer room, the prayer closet, the prayer corner, your car, and pour your heart out to the Lord. About 20 years ago, I was ministering to some women, and one of the women had just surrendered her life to the Lord. She was a grown woman. She was probably in her 30s when she surrendered to the Lord, and she had lived a life of addiction, and her primary addiction was alcohol. And you know what? The Lord delivered her overnight from drinking. But then after that, it took time for her to be retrained on how to deal with the emotions that alcohol had numbed for so many years. And I'll never forget one meeting when we gathered together for our Bible study, and she gave an update. She gave a praise, and I was just so blessed. This precious woman, she said, I refuse to run to anything but Jesus now in my life. I will only run to Jesus. And we asked her, how are you doing that? And she said, every moment where she feels that she, before Christ, would not have been able to handle the situation, she said she would just run into her bedroom, shut the door, and just cry. And she'd cry, and she'd cry, and she'd cry until she was done crying. And then she'd talk to the Lord about it briefly, clean up her face and go back out to finish her day. And as the weeks passed and she shared this story that the way she lived, really, it became less and less and less. And she developed an amazing, intimate relationship with not only the God who saved her, but the God of the universe who created her, who created you, who created me. So God is calling us to run to nothing but him and to run only to him. He is a jealous God, and he will defend us, and he will continue to woo us and call us. He's calling you. Run to him and only him.